Welcome everyone, it's the Patient Toddler coming at you with another live stream, and in this one we are going to talk about the Ecomi token and the Veve collectibles potential price action and potential comeback for the Veve collectibles, and we are going to discuss the question if the Ecomi token is dead and if basically this project is abandoned already. But first of all, welcome to the stream. We had some interesting discussions already here before. So welcome to Tony Bahamas, who sees the OMI token in front of unlocks here, which is not happening. The last founder unlocks have happened almost a year ago already. We have Dead Rabbits losing faith in Ecomi, and we're going to at least take a look if we can restore some of the faith, and also discuss why the faith is being lost. And we have Energy here. Moin to you as well. For all of you who are not, someone is changing here the color for us at the light. For everyone who doesn't know this, Moin is actually a German expression for greeting someone in the north of Germany. So yeah, Moin. Okay, I have prepared a lot of material. I do not know if we can get through all of this, but I hope we can, because all of this is metrics, it's real data that we are going to pull together from all sides of the macro and micro economy around Ecomi and Veve. But let's do some due diligence before, and also shilling my own channel. So first of all, you do your own research. My live stream and my videos are only one data point in your overall research. So therefore, do your own research before you ape full degen into the Ecomi token, the Veve collectibles, altcoins, and Bitcoin in the end of the stream, and God forbid, meme coins, which we do not want to ape into. Then secondly, I want to thank my rare hodlers, my Patreons, my channel members for always supporting me on this journey. Thank you so much for everyone, and also everyone who has already subscribed to the channel. And the best thing that you can do for me right now, absolutely free, is go down below and hit the like button, because that's basically the only thing. You can also hit the dislike button if you don't like me, but you hit the like button is the only thing that helps the YouTube algorithm to understand that more people should watch this live stream. So that would be really cool if you could do this for me. And then, yeah, if you want to do more than that, you can become a channel member or subscribe to my Patreon, and also make sure to follow me on Twitter. Next thing here is I'm going to share my screen quickly, that you subscribe to my YouTube channel if you do not want to miss these live streams, and I get back to you in a second. But we are doing, usually, except the live streams, stuff outside in nature. As you can see here, we had a good month of videos in Brazil walking at the beach, but now we are back to freezing Germany, and we are going to discuss everything around Ecomi price action. And with that out of the way, let's jump right into our topics here. So let's see. Spike says, I've said it before. Oh, wait, there are a lot of, let me see here. DM says, be honest, OMI won't make it. Some VVFA NFTs will do, but just a few. And I strongly disagree. I think OMI will make it. If it wouldn't, and it would be clear, the chart would look different as it does right now. So, and DM says, hope you exit early enough. That's like people exiting Bitcoin early enough at 15,000, and now they are waiting for the massive pullback, which could come, in all honesty, but obviously they would have lost the massive long on Bitcoin that we have seen so far. Actually, let me get my YouTube here out there. So subscribe and like if you like this. So Nars Pharmacy says, yeah, Pharmacy says, why do you say so? Yeah, right. What are your reasons? My reasons for holding onto my Ecomi back and scaling it up, I will give in this live stream. Spike says, I've said it before, Veve's ambition is far greater than their capability. I hope larger company acquires them. That would be good for the resources that they can put into metaverse and so on. Nevertheless, you have to see if it was only a team and an app without ambitions, or with ambitions but without resources and capabilities. Most likely the big brands that they have right now and that continue to put massive IP on the app would not be there anymore. Why, in God's name, if you are Lamborghini, or if you are Disney, or if you are the manager within the Disney umbrella for Marvel, or if you are managing DC, or if you are at USPS, why would you put exclusive NFT projects on this app if you would see what everyone else apparently here in the chat and out there can see, that they would be incapable of pulling it off? The matter of fact is the contrary. They are generating massive returns for those companies in the NFT space, way more than many other NFT projects out there right now. They are selling out a drop like Oswald at $60 with 5,000, 6,000 editions within an hour or so. So Oswald was sold out not seconds after, but later after the entire drop was sold out. Obviously, we are in a bear market. Sentiment is very low, but this is something that the whole FUD side of the community has to explain to me. Why does this FUD, I call it FUD, but actually it's honest concern of these people. I don't want to say that they try to push the price down so that they can accumulate more, like with intentional FUD in the media. But on the Veve app, there are people that have honest concern about this, but they have to explain why they are so concerned if the licensors are not as concerned. So these things take time, especially if you are basically the market leader and you cannot copy others. And don't come with HRO and stuff like that, because these projects do not have to integrate a lot of brands and do all the contract stuff. And also there are many brands, there are many projects of gaming NFTs like Illuvium out there that don't give a rat's ass about if they are labeled as a security in 2 to 3 years time. They do like an Ethereum drop on Illuvium coins. They don't care if the SEC comes after them in 2 to 3 years. Ecomi, Veve, I think they care. They really care, and they have to. Okay, let's get on here a little bit more before we jump into some material, because the chat is on fire right now. I have bought most of my OMI through my Coinbase, and now it's not available anymore. Did you buy it from the Chrome Coinbase browser extension? I've never used that thing, but the overall thing is, if you have your OMI on Ascendex, on OKX, on Bitforex, on Gate.io or so, do the investment and the learning of getting a hardware wallet and understand by just watching a 10-minute video. I think Foster has done a video on this, and many other YouTubers of the Veve fam, how to get your OMI tokens on a hardware wallet, on a ledger, because then you can just connect them in the next bull run to the exchange where they are listed, and just upload them there and sell them if you want to take some profits. Or you send them directly to the bridge it to layer 2 and use it in the OMI utility program once it's coming out. DM says, it's just a fact, not FUD. Okay. On my road to set 200, 3 left. So Energy is like our German community whale here, with over 200 sets. I mean, imagine that. That's absolutely crazy. So in that moment when the MCP comes out and you see that, like, Energy is having a lot of faith that MCP will be massive, these guys that have so many sets and secret rares and stacked collectibles will be the ones that will be acquiring from the drop NFTs and sell it to the others on the secondary market, which is why there are a lot of whales. We are going to look at the data in a second, which is why there are so many whales accumulating sets and other stuff. And again, I want to know from everyone who is concerned or who is fudding right now in the Veve fam, what do you see, what all the whales and licensors and other people do not see as a risk in Vivi that hard, that big, which is different from before? I think that many people are just concerned that they cannot get their $6,000 back that they aped on the top of the bull market into a specific collectible. But even that, I think they will recover around the time, because usually we see that in overall market cap. Like, we are going to look at the Vivi market cap as well in the stream. Stuff has just pumped. Like, with every bull market, stuff just pumps. Even like the worst shit drops on Vivi, like Toby and Electra, will pump. Too much FUD, genuine. I highly appreciate that. I agree. However, we need to address legitimate concern. There's a lot of concern about development speed, about capabilities and resources within the Vivi team, and so on. So obviously, we want to see and reevaluate every week if this is still where we want to have all our money in, right? Nars Pharmacy says Vivi Ecomi has incompetent leadership. Basically, I agree that there are signs of incompetence at some levels and in some parts of what they're doing, but there are also many parts of high competence which other projects do not have. So if you look, for example, at the competence in negotiating and acquiring big brand deals, Vivi is extremely good. And also in understanding what collectors do outside in the physical and in the onboarding of collectors from the physical world into the digital world, I think Vivi is extremely good. So we have seen that at Comic-Con, at DesignerCon, that they are really good in this hardcore, approaching the hardcore of collectors, and that's the main focus. It's not shilling some NFTs to make us rich. It's not the hard focus. This is coming later, when you will see, when in the bull run people are fighting, like 20, 30, 50,000 people are fighting over a 10,000 edition size drop. It's not too long ago when people were crying about not hitting a drop like weeks in a row. They basically begged Ecomi to increase the edition sizes. And then when the drops didn't sell out anymore, they didn't want to buy the drops anymore because everyone could have them. So there is a real fine line of where you need to balance out the edition numbers in terms of the interest of the overall market. And that was in a free falling market where basically the interest decreased every week, and they decreased the edition sizes to try to align this. The opposite will happen the moment that prices come back. Hey, JTemp, what's going on? Good to see you here, man. Which company is bigger than Disney? Yeah, I don't know. Reese mentioned before that they don't care about Omi. That was supposed to be a red flag already, but I didn't pay attention now, regret it a lot. I think the problem for them is that Vivi is the backbone of Ecomi, and as long as Vivi is not thriving and not pulling in mass adoption, they cannot put attention on the Omi token. It's just that. I think they shouldn't have shilled the Ecomi token during the moment when they onboarded like the first mini games like Epico Regal and stuff like that. They should just put out the expectancy that it takes longer to implement Ecomi. But if they wouldn't care about Ecomi, why create the Omi utility program? So this then again doesn't make any sense. So I think from what they have shown on an Ecomi roadmap, they do care. Otherwise, they could just abandon Ecomi completely and, I don't know, give out like a user bag holding compensation of 10% or so, and try to not go completely under with Vivi. But Vivi is the backbone that will feed the mechanics on top of Ecomi. Without Vivi, Ecomi is dead at this point in time. So I don't think that they will do this. And also, they are very big bag holders of Ecomi still. So they need to do something to make their own bags generate value so that they can extract personal value out of that backbone, which is then Veve. But they need to get the mechanics up and running. And if Veve fails, Ecomi is dead anyway. So they need to make Ecomi, they need to make Veve perfect so that Ecomi can thrive with it, like an in-game utility, like secondary currency, not a currency on the market, but something where you get benefits out of. Okay, so look at Disney. Is one of the biggest companies in the world, and they are partnering with a startup, Ecomi. They must have greater interest, and they'll know Veve doesn't have the resource. I don't know if that makes sense, because they have partnered with Veve, not with Ecomi directly. They have partnered with Veve. So the contracts are with probably with Orbis or with Veve. So we don't know the contract. But yes, it's a very big company. One of the biggest, one of the biggest companies in the world, and they are partnering with a startup, Ecomi Veve, with Orbis. They must have greater interest, and they'll know Veve doesn't have the resource. Why? Why is that the conclusion that you derive from partnering with them? If that would be the case, why don't launch third row characters on Veve just to try it out? Why do you launch a Golden Moment series with all the major brands in it, like Pixar, Star Wars, Simpsons, Frozen, Walt Disney in person with the Mickey Mouse, and Walt first appearance, like the biggest characters of Disney brand overall? It doesn't make sense to me. Jordan Stout, welcome to the stream, says they have their distance from Veve for whatever reason. Can't prove, but I believe there are a few paid fudders getting people worked up. I'm not sure if you even need people to pay people to FUD. For example, if you look at Cardano, I have some Cardano, and I'm looking frequently at what Charles Hoskinson puts out about Cardano, and that it's the same. Like, people are, like 3 years, Charles Hoskinson is telling stuff about Cardano, and Cardano is not getting adoption, and no one understands the code, and they cannot build dApps, and so on. So like, Cardano is, I think, in the top 10 with like 12 billion market cap, and major whales are holding Cardano and understand the technology. Nevertheless, there are people that are 90% down or 80% down on Cardano and have not DCA'd into it, and now scared that Cardano will never recover. So what happens to someone who's really, really scared? They get angry. I think it's that. I don't think that those people are paid. I think they have fear and legitimate concern, and they do not know all the facts around, for example, Ecomi and Veve. I think, for example, we had in the 10 minutes before the stream, or 15 minutes before the stream, someone saying in the chat, he said, see how much OMI token is going to be unlocked this year. Unlocked from what? The founder unlocks were done in the first months of the last year of 2022. It's almost 1 year ago, and they don't know. And on the other side, there are many people that do not know that that there was a lawsuit between what was the name of the guy, someone of the early investors and early founding members or so, who had a major bag, and he demanded like compensation in Ecomi. So this lawsuit was going on. Almost no one did know about it. Even the fathers didn't know about it. Okay, Polygon is their blockchain of choice. Polygon is in an accelerator program. Like, Polygon is a technology which they are seeking to adapt to use it for Web3 applications for their theme parks. This doesn't mean, just because you have one blockchain project integrated in your overall strategy, that doesn't mean that they are abandoning Veve. Why would they launch Oswald on Veve if they would plan to launch NFTs on Polygon? Doesn't make any sense. Polygon is going to be a very different approach, because on Polygon, for example, you could mint like unlimited NFTs, which are not premium collectibles. Like, for example, you go to Disneyland, you get a ticket, an entrance ticket, and you just can mint, or you can get a free NFT on Polygon, for example, minted on Polygon. Maybe they will even create a Disneyland wallet where you can go to the different stations and just redeem an NFT. But these NFTs will not be exclusive. These will be like, wow, the 2022 NFTs, and everyone who was there gets one, right? But for example, take another angle at this. If it would be strategically absolutely stupid if Disney works only with Vivi, even let Ecomi on the side. If they only would work with Vivi, did you see what happened to Vivi when they only worked with Wire for payments? Wire went down from one day to another, not profitable anymore, and Vivi had no cash out anymore. So one of the biggest milestone functionalities just went out of the window. Why should someone like Disney risk to put entire Web3 strategy only on Vivi? Doesn't make sense at all. Other thing, Vivi is part of the IMX ecosystem and has Ecomi and works with Wire and so on. So they are working with other crypto projects and marketplaces and so on and ecosystems at the same time, because if not, the Vivi fam would already be fudding all over them for not having integration with other platforms. With all of their expertise, AAA games companies haven't gone what Vivi is doing. So how will Vivi do it? Well, Vivi will just do it. I mean, they did it. If a year ago, before Marvel and Disney onboarded on Vivi, people were saying that they wouldn't come to Vivi, and they did. And now we have other brands like ramping up to come to Vivi. We just have to be patient and see where it's going. We are not getting all the brands because there are competitors out there. I only heard about absolute different about Ecomi from Reese. Yeah, I wanted to know the source as well. Vivi has license agreements with Disney. It's the source of their early appeal for me. The lack of OMI on the Vivi app is just amazingly bad. It's the only way a whale will buy on Vivi will buy on Vivi's crypto. Yeah, crypto pay in. They are already having crypto. Don't forget, guys, they have crypto pay in beta, and they have resumed after solving the cash out issue, having crypto cash in that beta and extending the beta. Remember when they had cash out in beta? People were saying it would never come and that they would only leave like 60 people in beta. And then 4 weeks after, we had cash out. Although it took an entire year from announcing cash out to bringing out cash out, they did it. People said it would never come. There were even bets between people on Twitter betting that payout will never come. And 4 weeks after, those bears got wrecked on their predictions. So guys, be very, very careful what you're betting on, because if your bet against Vivi includes selling all of your collectibles on a bear market bottom, then you might get wrecked in the next weeks. Ryan Unkafer says, I think what really matters isn't OUP or MSP, but the Viviverse. And the demo that dropped just last month looks great. I hope they are putting most of the resources into that. I 100% agree with you, because the Viviverse will give people a lot of things to do. I personally would prefer it if they put mechanics first into the Vivi app, so that collectors can do something the entire day with their collectibles. So I would want to see more functionalities for showrooms, like visiting other showrooms, which is kind of going into the Viviverse experience, but also the Master Collector program, gamification, ranks, badges, achievements. Guys, I remember, I always tell the story, I was really hardcore gaming on World of Warcraft years back, like when it came out in 2004, and after a while they had the first expansion, which was Burning Crusade, and in Burning Crusade they implemented achievements, and it increased the hours spent of all the players, and the players, after having a dip, insanely to the upside when people were trying to solve all of these achievements. So obviously with the sets and the possibility to include sets, we have somewhat of an achievement system, and it already works. Look at Energy. Energy has 200 sets. Look at other people. They are flexing on Twitter that they completed sets. Now, what I would want to see is like this sound, this achievement animation, then that you have benefits or extra drops because of that achievement, like all the different mechanics that really want to make you collect on the app. That's what I want to see before all of this. And at the same time, I want to see crypto pay in, so that all the whales, like you have to see, like with this pump, altcoin whales became insanely rich, and these profits are going to flow into the mid and small cap coins next, and then they will pump. We already saw some of them pump quite a bit, some around 100 and 200%. And everyone who was here already during the last bull run will remember that in the beginning of the last bull run, altcoins were bleeding to Bitcoin. Then Bitcoin profits were taken into altcoins. Altcoins were pumping like crazy, which made Bitcoin dominance drop. And then these bigger altcoin profits trickled into small cap, which just skyrocketed. In the end of the stream, we are going to look at one of this, how it developed, because it basically shows us where Ecomi could go. Excuse me, guys. And sorry for not being able to follow the chat as quickly, but in the end, those resulted, when we already were going into the bear market with big caps, into an absolute degenerate NFT boom. So this is why NFT stuff isn't doing so well at the moment. They have crypto pay in, so ETH whales could ape in. They could, but the problem is that crypto pay in is in beta yet. But the ETH whales, I assure you, the moment that ETH is topping out, ETH whales will take some of their ETH and buy NFTs. And if you can switch like ETH, like all the Cardano and so on, to gems, then gems will pump basically, which will make Veve collectibles pump as well. Energy says, I ask every time if someone lost the faith in Veve Omi, why they don't sell everything, just leave. Why they want to discuss for nothing? Because they actually didn't lose faith. They are unsure about where it's going, and they want confirmation from all the sides to gather more information, which is actually quite a good move, to gather information from bears and bulls and see how the different perspectives are. I'm still bullish on Veve NFTs. I'm still bullish on the Ecomi token. I think you're wrong. Omi utility on the app should come before Veveverse. Veveverse is huge development that needs partnership. It's a long-term development plan. I 100% agree with you. Omi integration should come before the Veveverse, because you need Omi integration in the Veveverse anyways, in the same mechanics that you have on the Veve app. I just wish Omi could make it until the next bull run, so that we could get our money back. I hope not to turn to rug pull. Yeah, and this comment right here shows you where the biggest rejection point will be, like the biggest resistance to overcome. It's where the biggest average of all of the people that bought around a half a cent, and now maybe lowered the average, so around 0034, there will be a major resistance of everyone who just wants to get out of Ecomi. And then overcoming this, there will be almost no retail volume anymore, so that price will extremely pump after this 0034, in my opinion. Patient, you talk about collectors, but let's be clear about what that means. Real collectors buy because they love the franchise. Sadly, Veve collectors want to collect for profit. It's broken. I 100% disagree, because there are, even though so first of all, every collector is always seeking valuable, scarce goods to collect, because he always has in mind that what they collect should be to some extent of value. So for example, Pokemon cards. Even let's not talk about base set, which is just because it's so scarce, because some of these things are just lost forever. It's really of high value. But let's talk about Evolving Skies, one of the sets that came out last year. So there are cards in Evolving Skies that after a couple of months have reached a price point of $400, $500 per card, just because they are scarce to pull. But these, have even new print runs and reprint runs, and yet people are trying to collect. Why do they collect these? Why not collect some shitty card game that no one cares about? It would be way cheaper to collect, because the value of the thing that you're looking at plus the brand, what you're excited about, gives you the thrill. And third of everything, like, it's the hunt, that this is scarce to get and no one can, you cannot get them all, right? There's no real big thrill to collect the USPS stamps right now because they are super cheap at the moment on Veve, right? But the moment that more and more people are completing those sets, it will create some kind of FOMO because people want to own those things. Why? Because some people are interested in stamps. You could argue, why do we not just collect shells that are on the beach? There are millions and billions of shells on the beach. You could just collect them all, like the white ones, the little broken ones, the small ones. But when people collect them, they are seeking for one special shell on the beach, which is different from all the others. So they are looking for something, ultimately something valuable. It's in the nature of collectors to look for something valuable. And quite honestly, I came to the Veve app to make a profit. And quite honestly, I will never sell everything that I have and exit the Veve app, because I just became attached to some of the collectibles. So someone would have to offer me a really high amount of money for some of these collectibles. For example, Journey into Mystery, 85 secret rare. If you would offer me $2,000 today, I would not sell you this comic. Why? Because I think I want to keep it. Unless someone gives me way more for this, there will be always this point where someone will give me so much stuff for my coin collection of Olympic 1 real coin from Brazil, for example. Is If someone would want to give me $50 for this would be 100x probably on the value of this. I wouldn't sell it to them. Even $1,000 I wouldn't sell, because I'm attached to this specific collection. I don't want to give this away. But if someone comes and says, I give you $50,000, okay, fine. You have it, right? There's always a point where I would liquidate that stuff for money, but quite honestly, not for every money. And that's exactly what happens in Veve, in my opinion. So the argument is right that you put out here, but on the other hand, it's wrong because it's just the inherent nature of collecting. Anyways, there are some more comments here. And also, guys, we are 50 people here. Please do me the favor, even if you dislike or even if I disagree just with what you're saying, please smash a like on the video so that we can get more people in here to discuss with us, that the YouTube algorithm offers it to people. And also, if you are not subscribed yet to my channel, please subscribe for then being part of the next live stream here. Let me get to the next comments here. It's because we failed to sell early. If we sell now, we get nothing. So we are just hoping for a miracle now. No, we are not hoping for a miracle. We are just hoping for liquidity. We are going to... No, let's jump into this quickly right away, because I think that's just so important to understand before I go to the other questions here. So this, ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that. That was the wrong window. Yeah, it's the right window. I just want to make it full. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is the DXY. And the DXY, for everyone who doesn't know it, is the strength of the dollar compared to a basket of other currencies. And here is a big this is the chart that is, in my opinion, most correlated to Bitcoin. Because if the DXY drops, we have a rally in Bitcoin. If the DXY rallies, we have a bear market in Bitcoin. So this is a bull market of Bitcoin. And this is the last bull market of Bitcoin, the last one. And I put this like this because it shows here already, these are our two peaks of Bitcoin, of the crypto market, of altcoin pumps. This is the what people say, the fake out, right? So number go down, altcoin go up, right? So the only difference is right now that Veve came out here. Like, let me get this out of the way here. So Veve came out. Oh, I need to get rid of the comments. Sorry, pharmacy. So this is where Veve came out, somewhere here, right? So we were in the end with the Veve collectibles in the end of the bull market here, right? These were our Bitcoin peaks. So we came out in the end and we had user adoption. The big bull run was this one here. If Veve had come out here, we would have pumped so insanely hard, like we know it from CryptoPunks and Bored Apes, which came out before, because this was the major pump. Veve came out. I'm sorry, that was. Let me get out of this here, and that was a new tab. Sorry about that, guys. That was my Brave browser tab. Veve came out. Let me know if you disagree with this, but Veve came out there, right? I have to jump some of the comments here because let me get rid of this one line. So what's the consequence here? We see right now, this is proven to be a big correlation since many years right here. So what we see right now is that we have a major pullback in the DXY, and now we are looking at, because if the Fed would rate hike, and the next Fed rate hike is coming out in, I think, 3 to 4 days. Actually, let's take a look here. So this is MarketWatch, next major US economic reports that are coming out. We have seen some important stuff already before. And we have here Wednesday, February 1st, federal funds rate and rate projection. So the expected increase is only a 0.25 increase, which we have already discussed in previous videos, which is expected. So this is expected to happen to match the core inflation. And they are projecting to get to these numbers here, to 5. Oh, so you cannot see this. Sorry about that, guys. I hope you can see this right now. Let me get this bigger bit, a little bit bigger here. So 425 we are, and we're heading to 4.5, and they are projecting to head to 5%. So if we would crash on the DXY right now more, this would be with a 2.5%, it would be still possible. If they would rate hike 0.5 though, I think we would see this going up again. Not much, but it would. This is basically a resistance line where we are right now stalling out. If we would just move sideways on a 2.5 and then on 25 points base hike and drop down, then this is our bull market, right? Then if we crash through this resistance, it's absolutely on into the next bull market. But considering with the halving and everything, there could be like reaction rallies, and we could go down like this, right? So then we would take longer to head into absolute fire bull market. So yeah, so Trucking Hand says, great stream. Thank you very much to good to see you here. Mr. K says, I bought Omi back late in 2021, being DCA all 2022, and got 10 million Omi now. No plans on selling before at least 24, 25. Same here, although I am close to 2 million, not 10 million, but I'm still buying, still DCAing into Omi, trying to bring my average down to closer to these 000 so that I am in the plus quicker when it pumps. So if we see us rolling over here, I would expect all markets to pump again. However, be very careful, because we could go on an unexpected bounce, inflation gets out of control again, and then we rally higher, and that would be then for Bitcoin to go to new lows. Guys, if I have missed comments or questions of you, please write them again into the chat, because I basically jumped a lot of conversation here. The term for SXY BTC is inverse correlation. Yeah. So basically, these are inverse correlated. But I mean, you get the idea here. We had this double bottom, which was the peak of our bull market, and then we were absolutely going wrecked on Bitcoin here throughout this massive bull market in the DXY, which was a massive bull market for us in terms of numbers. Bro, are you not scared that they missed the next bull run? I'm extremely scared that a lot of people miss the next bull run on the NFTs, and even more, like, it's not about missing the next bull run, but I don't know if you meant that, but I'm extremely scared that a lot of people do not take advantage of this accumulation zone here. Yeah, so the DXY against Bitcoin, yeah, inverse correlated. Hi, Martin PI. Martin PI, welcome to the stream. Guys, also, I have been between the continents. I know that there are very different countries here, always looking into the stream. Let me know where you are from. So, yeah, I please specify this question, Mehdi. And Moni, welcome to the stream. Glad to see you here. Good to have the people from German Veve fam here. And I hope we will see each other, or at least many of the people, not only German Veve fam, on Comic-Con in May in Dortmund, which is in Germany. So I hope Veve will be there as well, at least with some representatives. Jordan Stouts says bull market could develop faster with a USA debt ceiling. USA politicians know we are only paying interest on our loans. An unstable environment could pump Bitcoin soon. I think it's true what you say, but it's also it's the unstable environment could collapse in either direction. But I think that the formula for crypto, which I didn't understand a long time, and which I feel many people didn't understand as well, is like you pull out money. This is basically pulling out money from everyone in the economy. So let's just say the pile is just pull out money from the pile, number go down on Bitcoin. Put money into the pile, number go up, right? So that's basically what the absolute Stone Age definition of what's happening in terms of price fluctuation in the markets. It's not only Bitcoin, it's stock markets overall and so on. So I think we should take close eye on this DXY here to know what's going on. But I agree with you. If they raise the debt ceiling, for example, that would basically mean that they can put more money on the pile for everyone, like stimmy checks. In Germany, people are still receiving stimulus money. Don't forget that. So there is like free money. There's no free lunch, we know, but there is actually free lunch. If you have some certain governments, they put money on the pile of people, and these people have more money to spend. And what they do is, because they do not want to work as a service guy all of their life, they put money on the pile in Bitcoin. So number go up, right? Okay. I did mention that bears is for building and bull is for price action. Veve is building now, and people should definitely think in longer terms to remove the stress. 100% agree with you. Thanks for putting that out here, because the reason, or I think that is very important to say, and the reason is, imagine the Veve FUD if they would bust out all the milestones right now, and we would still crash here with the DXY, and basically Omi would not react at all because people would still be in the bearish sentiment, and all of the milestones would go into nothing in price action. They would say, you should have waited with bringing MCP. You should have waited with bringing OUP until there's bullish sentiment, right? So maybe, just maybe, the Veve team is just focusing hard on not getting this stuff out until the bottom is confirmed, and then let us rally really, really hard in Veve and Ecomi. that could be like a positive conspiracy theory. I mean, is that possible that someone at Vivi says, guys, I mean, it doesn't matter if we bring out MCP right now or in a month or so, and also exchange listings, let's just wait a little bit more until we have clarity on regulations, if the bottom is in, if the Fed is going to wreck everyone's money, because ultimately you have to see this not only from a price action point. If they get money out of the pile like they did the entire 1.5 years from the bull run, that also means people do not have so much money to spend on Vivi, because people in general do not have so much money. But in the moment that they are putting money into, like, for cheaper credit, cheaper interest rates, and so on, people have money to throw on an Oswald static 3-pose collectibles, right? So that's basically what they have to consider from a strategic standpoint in the Vivi app as well. I mean that Omi will miss the next bull run. I don't think so. We are going to look at this in a second here. I don't think so. I will explain why. It's good that you have exactly the questions that I was preparing here for the stream anyway. So I really like that. Thank you for raising that question, Mehdi, because I think that's a valid concern, because Ecomi did not move with the rest. Even garbage coins moved and Ecomi did not. So we have Bumblebee here. Welcome to the stream, Bumblebee. Long time no see. But I remember you from the previous streams before I went to Brazil. Without any exchange listing for Omi, we possibly miss the next bull run. Yeah, but the problem is that next bull run is more than 1 year out. The halving is in 1 year and bull run is after that. This right now is not the bull run. We are trying to find a bottom here. Don't get this wrong. Don't get this twisted. Have to get some more SR before we start going up. So, okay, so let's first of all look at this here. Sorry for bringing out more charts, but you really need to see this. So there are many people out there that are calling for the bottom on Bitcoin right now. And I tell you, and smash up the like if you agree, we are on Bitcoin still in the lower high and lower low trajectory. This is nevertheless, so let's pick this lower low trajectory. So this is a downtrend. We have not broken the downtrend. We could pull back here and form a new low, and the bear market would still on. So let's say the Fed comes out on Wednesday and says that we are hiking 0.5, then we could pull back here. And if we then get bad news on top of this hike, then we could get to a new low. So it's not over yet, not confirmed. I have said it many times. Let's get this out of the way again, so you get the idea, right? I have said this many times. There are two things that I want to see. I want to see us breaking the previous, better would be even this here, like the 25. But this first one that I want to see, at least it happened. I want to see a healthy pullback that looks like this and then break this at least then. And then I would say, yeah, this is our bear market trough. Then I would say this is our bear market trough. But who guarantees me here that the bottom is in on this if the bottom wasn't in on this and wasn't in on this? Like, people were saying, so many people were saying that the bottom is in here, right? And then they were saying that's the bottom, and then they were saying that's the bottom. And we always on this channel said that's not the bottom, that cannot be the bottom, because it doesn't look that the DXY is stopping the rally. But now we have such a big pullback, and now we're looking this level, yeah, here on DXY to get to the conclusion. And we want to really break above this, but we also want a healthy pullback that puts in a higher low to get to that conclusion. So in my opinion, right now, as it seems, and this is the last part of the charts here, ladies and gentlemen, this is the last boom. So let's get to let's really look at this in the same dimensions. This is our last bull run, right? We have a blow off top. We don't have the second top. Why? because we didn't get in that bear market, we didn't get a double bottom. Here we got the double bottom, which is why we got the double top on Bitcoin, right? So again, inverse correlation. So here's the important factor to see. We did get 25%. Actually, let's get this measured here. So this is imagine we are in this last bull run, right? And we are trying to determine if we are here or if we are here right now. Okay, so because this is our bear market trough from the last one, and it doesn't have to look the same. Okay, so blow off top, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reaction rallies. Okay, so we did rally here 35%, and then we rallied. Oh, actually, we need to take the lower end here to see. We rallied from right here. People said there it was the bottom, and then we rallied to 100% rally, right? So we didn't even have a strong rally like this time. And then we rallied 50% and it was not the bottom. And then we rallied 43% and it was not the bottom. And then we rallied from here to here 25% and it was not the bottom. And then we fizzled out here for like, how long was that? We fizzled out here for 70 days. And then we crashed 50% or so to our bear market trough low. So this was the ultimate collapse. I don't know if this was Mount Gox or so, or what it was exactly. But honestly, you see, these are all the reaction rallies. So the big question right now is, why do I say we need to take out the previous high? Because if we rally from here to here, we can still drop, right? So we didn't take out this high and we didn't put in a higher low after taking out this. So nothing of this happened. So we dropped. So let's get back to our bear market. So the question is right now, is this somewhat of a really weird bear market trough? Or could we, and this is something to be very careful, could we have seen reaction rally, here reaction rally, reaction rally, reaction rally? Is this another reaction rally and we could maybe fizzle out and then see a bear market trough? This would be worst case scenario, but it could happen. Or we just don't see that and this is the bottom. We could form something like this here, like coming out of this and then boom, go up like crazy. Nevertheless, this is let's see what this rally would be like from the all-time low here of this bear market to the top 55%. So we have seen stronger rallies in the previous bear market. Yeah, so that's basically what I'm saying here. Jordan says, I hope you're right about waiting for a bull market for project improvements and regulation compliance. So we have, keep this in mind, guys. Until the halving, we might see like something like this: consolidating, pump, consolidating, pump, consolidating, pump, and then even here we are heading in January 24. We still not at the halving, right? So even if this was happening, it's super slow. There's 1 year for Ecomi and Veve to build out every functionality that we need to go crazy, right? So yeah, I hope so too. Mehdi said, Energy says, releasing your listing in the bear market, it will do the opposite with Omi. That's why we will have to wait. Do you think NFTs will surge first, be in the next bull run, or crypto? Art sometimes runs counter to the traditional stock market, perhaps the same for crypto. I think it's more like NFTs are considered something like a super small cap crypto right now, as much as basically people do not consider Bitcoin yet as a hedge against inflation, and rather risk on tech asset, which they are selling off every time that inflation rises. So usually they should have bought Bitcoin like crazy to protect themselves against inflation, but they didn't. So I consider, from my perspective, I consider NFTs something like super small cap altcoins, because they are rallying like super small cap altcoins. Hey, I'm watching from Brazil. Greetings to Brazil. Actually, greetings to Uruguayana. Let's go. Stay compassionate. Veve and Ecomi are rugs. Period. Owners are greedy. Hardly disagree on the rug pull, and hardly disagree on the owners are greedy statement, because if you would consider it like this, you could say Tesla is selling Teslas. They are greedy for charging you like, what is it, like a 70,000 US dollar or whatever for a Tesla. So greedy, guys. Yeah, they are a business and they are focusing on turning revenue in business growth. That's what they do. They have stockholders, shareholders, and they are in the first place obliged to give profits and generate profits for their stockholders, which in the part of Ecomi, basically the stockholders is David Yu, then some Chinese investor, and for the coin, in the coin we have some venture capital, and this venture capital, guess what, didn't sell. So which brings me, which is a good thing. So which brings me, I will jump the news for a bit, because I want to get right into the Ecomi stuff here right now. So this is the Ecomi price action, right? And as we can see here, we have several volume spikes actually. So in terms of a dead coin, I mean, there is something going on. It's not like that there is that's a dead coin. Rather, it's a coin that is dominated by whales, and we'll see in a second why that is. So what we see right now is, and I want to bring this to your attention, this is a pattern in Ecomi token forming a symmetrical triangle, in my opinion, but the chartist of you will probably jump into my face and say it's not the triangle. Anyways, I will do my own analysis on this here. So we have find our new basically all-time low since the existence of the chart, and then we are bouncing around here between these lines, and usually that is because whales are putting up basically sell orders here, massive sell orders here, and they are closing in on this price, because usually some other whales are trying to get their sales in before the previous sale. So this is basically how the order book forms this price action. And what we have right now is we need to wait until this comes to a decision. And I have a strong feeling that something is lining up in this last sector, which is, let me see. So we are now today here, we are actually forming a hammer. But obviously we have also 7.5 hours still to form up here. But what is happening here is basically, let me mark this for you. Here we have, one second, where we are at Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Here we have the Fed announcement of the rate hike. And somewhere here we have the community update. And both are relevant for the Ecomi price, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. So what do I think is going to happen? If we draw a straight line into this, most of the action is actually on this upper end of the symmetrical triangle. And I believe that if the news from the Fed and if the news from the community update are good, we are going to hit our head and boom, go out of this one. I believe. However, if we have bad news, we could see something like this and fall out of this shit and basically form a new chart pattern there. That's for my absolutely garbage technical analysis, but it has been working out so far pretty good. So I think I'm getting a little bit better at it since 1 year or so. I just want to bring that to your attention, that we have not broken out here on the upside. And the reason for this is we had absolutely no news that we could relate to the Ecomi token. So let's talk about what Ecomi has for us in this community update, or Vivi better. So therefore, we are going to, can I put this in night mode somewhere? It's literally very, very bright. I don't know if someone knows how to put, this is something that I want to address as well. So it's 50-50. Yes, a symmetrical triangle is actually 50-50. It can break to the downside or to the upside, but there's more to it. If you want the channel of people that are telling you the bottom is in at 25,000, yeah, please go and subscribe to this channel. Make sure to unsubscribe on my channel. Reason being is that I do not give these predictions because I have seen people be wrong the entire bear market. And we have given always these on this channel. If you were subscribed to this channel, you would know that the entire collapse from before Luna until now, we have given pretty accurate looks on the market without giving an exact price prediction. I have given you my targets for when, or my pattern, what I want to see for saying that the Bitcoin bottom would be in. And I'm not saying that. I say number can go up, number can go down, number can go sideways, right? So if you want to go to those channels, then please do yourself the favor and buy the bottom at 25,000. However, if you want to read with me all the macro and micro factors that are influencing Ecomi and Vivi, then you stick with me. Ecomi, over 3 years old, built an app and web app, securing major licenses, worst rug pull ever. Yeah, exactly. It's like crazy how much how my rug was put. I mean, I shouldn't have bought Ecomi in the end of a bull market. That's why I'm down on Ecomi. Otherwise, if I had bought, let's go back to the chart real quick because it's so funny. Like if I would have known what I know since now, or basically what I learned throughout this bear market, I would be up. Let's see what I would be up. Like I would have bought somewhere in this collapse or DCA'd into this collapse. So let's say my average price would be then, I don't know, here, like only this. So then you would be up 5% and everyone else would be down 9%, right? So because we would have, or let's say we just take this price and we are up 0% because we would have just DCA'd all the way in this triangle, right? And maybe we collapse more and we DCA, but we would be way better than all the people, like including me, that bought in basically in the end of a bull run. So yeah, 100%. Let's go. I understand now. Okay. Where do you think the price will go ultimately? Bottom. It's hard to say because this is what I wanted to explain to you. So they are going to, let me get back to this one. They have said, what did they say? Heads up, VVFam, nothing this weekend, but we'll be back at it next weekend with some great drops, a community update video, and more. So, sorry, that was my bad. Let's get this. Let's get this a little bit bigger here for you guys. Okay, so there we go. Hope you can see this right now. So basically, nothing this weekend, but we'll be back next week. Some great drops, community update video, and more. Okay, so this community update, what do I expect? I expect them to give us more than only saying what we already know, like cash out is coming out, Infinity Gauntlet will be a drop or whatever. They probably will tease the Infinity Gauntlet more because the last, is it the last or the almost last stone is coming out right now? So that could be a thing. But most importantly, I think they will give us some updates regarding the OMI utility program, some timelines, MCP, and so on. And then, so here are the two scenarios for you, maybe, and everyone else. So we let's say they announce a clear date and that they are bringing OMI utility program phase 1 here. I 100% believe that we would break out here. However, there is a chance that they will just say they had so much to do with the payment provider coming in that they had to delay the Omi utility program, and then we will roll over. And then it's the big question if we will retest the all-time low here of the charts at least, and get something like a double bottom or whatever in, or oops, sorry about that, or I wanted to do the strong Z here, or they will give us timelines, but they are too far out, then we don't know what's going to happen here. But why is this always popping up here? But anyways, yeah, so Inch says hindsight 2020. Yeah, hindsight is important because you can avoid doing the next mistakes, the next mistakes in the next bull run, right? So no one who goes through this pain that we have here, like no one who went through this pain that we had here for Ecomi, look at this chart. I mean, look at where we are. No one who went to this pain and is now down here will make, oh, sorry, you can't see. So no one who went through this pain here on Ecomi, like buying here, and is now down there, will do this mistake ever again, right? But not because of Ecomi. This is what happened to all the altcoin holders. There's something special about the Ecomi VV fam, and that is that many Ecomi holders are only in Ecomi, right? So they only look at this, but you need to look at the entire market. So let's go and look at the entire market here together. Yeah, so hey, Vivi Fox, what's going on? Vivi Fox, great analysis channel. And we are actually in the next step, after looking at the broader markets, using the VVX tracker to see if the whales of the VV app are as bearish as some of the people here in the live chat. Smash the like button if you like that. And also make sure you follow Vivi Fox on Twitter and on YouTube, because the analysis is very solid. And yeah, that's basically what you need to do. Energy would love the rollover, but yeah, Energy wants to stay in bear market for another 8 years to buy the dip, which I cannot agree on. But let's look at the market here a little bit. So market sorted by market cap. We have 24 hours here. Actually, we can put this here, 24 hours, and we see everything is pumping like through. There's nothing in the top 150 or so which is not pumping, right? So nothing, like everything is pumping. I hope we do not see stable coins pumping, because that would be bad. That would be a deep to the upside. But let's actually sort this by, I have selected here the top 200, and let's sort this by okay, now it bugged out. Great job. Okay, so these are the top 200 pump. And I mean, there are coins that I've never seen in my life, like fetch.ai. Why is this pumping? Because AI is a absolutely massive, let's say, hype right now. Yeah, this is pumping on a hype. Like every AI coin is pumping right now on a hype. NFTs are not a hype at the moment, but I'm pretty sure they will come back. Then we have Ronin. This could be the Ronin bridge of Axie Infinity, is because Axie Infinity then pumped before. Like the coins of the ecosystem are pumping. Like Ocean Protocol is pumping because it's an AI coin, and so on. So there are things like Render Token and so on. But look at this, like even the meme coins like Floki are up 100% in the last 30 days. Now let's look at the other side, because we will find our favorite altcoin here. So we have Flare, we have stuff that I don't know, Uobi token, which is an exchange. Uobi is an exchange which we speculated a while ago if they could list. But there's nothing too bad. Like also, except Flare, I don't know why this crashed 90% in the last couple of days. Seems to be very bad. But other than that, there are not too many coins that are really doing bad. And then there's Ecomi, which is up in the last 10% in the last 30 days, which is compared to the pumps that other coins in the top 200 have seen a little bit bad. But let's just, for the sake, like, look at this. Chili's is only up 34%. And Chili's is like one of the coins with real market applications and so on. So we will look into why now. But let me just get to this. It's a great project when the trolls spent the day on Veve live streams and Twitter spreading negativity. They will also buy our bags in the bull run. Yeah, I hope that everyone who watches me is not doing that mistake. And let's look at Bolshevik says, why does this seem like no one knows about Ecomi still? I can tell you why in a second. These pump-in coins are also very accessible on exchanges, and that's where I want to get at. So look at this. So this one is, for example, now having a pump, but didn't have before. Look at this. Even last 24 hours, still down. I guess it's starting to pump from. Sorry. This had I did this wrong, the wrong way around. 24 hours, it's not done. Has pumped before. That's what I meant. So Omi has also had a little bit of upside here. Don't get me wrong, but let's look at Chili's, for example. Okay, let's look at Chili's. So Chili's is this coin that I'm talking frequently about. Look at this bear market explosive pump when it was listed on exchanges. Okay, so now look at the very big difference here for Chili's, and we are looking at the Ecomi right after. So Chili's is listed on Binance, CoinDesk, Upbit, on Chili's itself, which is basically probably their Socios.com app. Other, which we don't even know what that is, on OKX, probably a DEX or so, on HitBDC, on CoinW, on DigiFinex, on whatever, Flexico, like a ton of exchanges. Like if you go to CoinMarketCap, the list is like 40, 50 exchanges, right? Okay, so let's go back to our list here and look at the Ecomi. Yeah, right. So Ecomi is listed on Bitforex, OKX, Uniswap, Gate.io, and this little thing here down below is probably a Sendex. So the overall volume here, where is the volume? There was a table of so the 24-hour trading volume is $500,000. And if we go back to Chili's, we will probably find something like 10 million. The reason is that Chili's is on Binance, on Coinbase, on I don't know what, all these big exchanges. And Ecomi was on a fairly big exchange, which was Gate.io. But if you didn't see that, guys, Gate.io shut down their services in all major countries like US and many other countries. You cannot even access Gate.io anymore. Everyone had to remove their funds from Gate.io within 72 hours from the US. So no one can buy Ecomi on Gate.io anymore, which is why the trading volume is really in the toilet. So the big we are on Bitmart as well, by the way. But Bitmart is like a scam washing or whatever, like exchange. Never would use Bitmart if I were you to get my Ecomi. So do you see the difference between the 90 and the 90 day performance is actually pretty close. Like it has a 50% pump on Chili's, but in the 90-day performance, they are quite the same. So let's get, or at least they are close to each other, because I've sorted here for 90 days. And you see, like in the last 90 days, Ecomi is down 40% and Chili's is down 40%. So the only difference is that Chili's is not down as much, not even close as much as these other coins are, right? So year to date or 1 year, these coins are losing out. But if we go to any other coin, like look at Osmosis, like Osmosis is, I don't know, something in the ecosystem. Look at this. Osmosis is in the gutter, right? But even Osmosis is on Osmosis and on Binance and on CoinDesk and on BitTrue and on Gate.io, and even Osmosis has a trading volume of 17 million. So you see that Ecomi is just not available. It's just not available, which is why, if you consider this, Ecomi is doing pretty well. is holding pretty strong. I mean, look at, let's go to the chart again. I mean, you would basically say that this osmosis was at $11 and the bottom was at 70 cents. So you are down 88% on this one as well, right? So yeah, so that let me get this up here. Look at this. But what we can see on osmosis here is that volume is coming back hard. So this is why it's pumping. And Ecomi doesn't have that yet, but it will have. I believe there is a time. It's more like categories where the coins are pumping, and then also where do you buy this stuff? I bought my last stuff on Sendex, but I really want to get to Bitfinex. But who does have Bitfinex and Sendex out there? Like, retail people do not have this stuff. How do you expect retail to FOMO into Ecomi when Ecomi isn't listed on those exchanges? Like, look at these exchanges. Like, you have to have this, otherwise you cannot FOMO into into Ecomi. Sorry about that. So Ecomi sponsored many big crypto YouTube influencers like CryptoSaras. Their contract ended already, but when they decide to do it again, expect ridiculous pump for Ecomi. And I would add the Veve collectibles. 100% agree with you there, Tito. Ecomi's all-time high was 1.3 cents, 337. The lead. It's the lead indicator. Don't be fooled. People know about Ecomi. BitBoy and CryptoRas have mentioned Veve on stream before. Yes, and also, guys, don't get me wrong, but CryptoSaras and BitBoy Crypto have mentioned many coins in the past and stopped mentioning them, and these coins are in the toilet and the gutter because they didn't pay, but because the projects didn't pay them during a bear market, because it makes absolutely no sense. You can have, during a bear market, the absolute ridiculous milestones of all times, and people wouldn't buy your coin. Let me show you an example for this. Like, you know VeChain, right? You guys know VeChain. So let me get this for you guys here. Let me get my face in the camera. So VeChain had the biggest milestone of them all right at when the ultimate collapse happened, and it still didn't pump as much. It did pump right now, but it didn't pump as much. Let me find a coin where VeChain is listed more than Binance didn't list it for a long time. Let me see that. I want to get to the VeChain chart here, but I have so many tabs open that it takes a long time. Excuse me, guys. So VeChain, for everyone who doesn't know it, has a real life application. Walmart China is minting all their consumer goods data, or most of that, on VeChain. Now let me pull up the chart for you, because it's really, after that, and this is the big problem, people do not invest in 20 altcoins when they hold Ecomi. They only hold Ecomi. So there you go. So this is VeChain, right? And this is a coin that actually has utility. This is a coin that gets used, and I think they have announced that they have basically launched their proof of authority consensus mechanism on mainnet somewhere here. And you see, like, this bottom is just rounding out. So it's not about the milestones, guys. Not yet. When we are in bullish sentiment and we get the new exchange or milestone, then you go to the moon. But it's not the time yet. And the same accounts for Ecomi. Where's my Ecomi chart? There you go. The same as for Ecomi. Look at this. I mean, they look the same. Like, not exactly the same, but these charts look the same. Like, look at this. It's like the same. It's like the 1 cent spike, then the half a cent spike on Ecomi, and then fizzling out into absolute oblivion. It's the same. Yeah, look here. Here, Ecomi. Spike, lower spike, fizzling out. It's the same. It doesn't have to do anything. Like, Ecomi didn't have utility all the time, yet it managed to pump on a promise. Why shouldn't it pump on the real thing, the real deal being implemented in the bull market again? I don't know why it shouldn't. Omi has huge upswing potential in the bull market with exchange introduction, especially with Disney brand backing. The unsophisticated meme followers have pumped Doge and ship for a lot less. Yeah, exactly. So take meme coins. I mean, all you need is a lot of retail people to FOMO into a pump that is orchestrated by whales. We know that there are a lot of whales that are aware of Ecomi. Now let's take some things together. So what needs to happen for this to go to the moon? Exchange listings on big exchanges so that we get volume and also whales to play around with the token. Actually, real life utility, which is the Omi utility program, so that other people are talking about this. And when the Omi utility program, MCP, plus the big brands, Lamborghini and so on, are launched in a bull run, then you get retail attention to this. And then the whales are going to accumulate right now already. Don't get this twisted. They are doing. Then we can see this on Omi Whale Watcher, like 50 million Omi sent to unknown wallet, blah, blah, blah. So they are playing around with the price right now, and they try to keep it locked. But all of the like exchange listings, fundamentals for the Ecomi token, bull market sentiment coming back, and DXY crashing. So that number go up in the entire market, plus altcoin season with mid caps pumping. Then you will have Omi going to the moon, in my opinion. I mean, you could also buy osmosis, right? I mean, you could also buy osmosis, but I prefer to buy Ecomi. You could also say, okay, buy osmosis. As I see it, the slow growth makes for a faster burn of tokens. This is great for a faster and higher parabolic move later in the bull market. I hope it's a bull market. If it's a bull market, we get wrecked. Great time to accumulate. I 100% agree with you. Look, I promise you this, and you can really. I take this comment, or no, I take let this comment here. I don't know, like take a little video of this, but this is what I'm going to predict here on this crystal ball channel. Once we get back into the bull market and the graph, I mean, don't get me serious on this graph, but let's say we come back to half a penny or so, people would say, oh, I hope there will be a pullback into 000 range so that I can buy. But right now that we are in 000 territory, no one wants to buy. So when we are back up here, they're like, yeah, once it pulls back, I will buy. And then it does this, and then the real bull run with the halving starts, and this price goes parabolic. And then they are like, oh, I wish I had bought down there. The people said, if this crashes here, I will buy. But they thought that they will get the chance with this sentiment here. Let me get this bigger for you. With this sentiment here, they really get the chance with this sentiment to buy. It's unbelievable. So this rally here, this was before Christmas 21, when we had 2.6 million active users. That was the excitement here. They want this excitement, but these prices, you cannot have it both ways, guys. Smash a like button if you agree. I buy my OMI on Uniswap. I don't trust exchanges anymore. That's actually a great way to buy in your OMI. You buy on a decentralized exchange and get it to your hardware wallet or whatever. What do you think needs to be in place for Ecomi to actively see top tier exchange listings as soon as OUP is implemented or a month afterward? So what exchanges want is coins with a bigger community and the potential for retail investors to absolutely FOMO in, ape in coins. They want to see a big volume, and then they are listing the exchanges. So let me show you Chili's here, because it's like a big perfect reference. So this is Chili's, right? And I bought Chili's at 3 cents. So somewhere in this after this first pump here, somewhere here. I still hold Chili's. So I held it a couple of, I think a 20x or so, or even more. And I held it all the way down into the bear market because I didn't know what I'm doing, quite honestly. I just liked Chili's and I bought it because of the fundamentals. So I kind of did something right, but I also didn't take profits, which was bad. So let me get this straight here, this chart here for you. So, okay, so let's go into the phase, and please keep always in mind the chart of Ecomi, okay? So let's really pull this up here so that we can see how it looked for me when I bought it. So I think I bought it somewhere here. Okay. So we had probably the token was around a little bit longer already, but we had all of this choppy action and whales playing around with the token and good news and bad news and I don't know what. But this all, I think the last halving must have been somewhere here. I don't know, somewhere here. Still, the coin dropped into an absolute low again. So this is not something. This you can compare this to sideways action of Ecomi, but then you start to see these massive rounding bottoms, cup and handle, perfect boom breakout, right? So the choppy price action, actually you have something rounding here, but then you have this choppy price action which continued for a while before this really went into this price action. Okay, so what happened then? I managed to buy this here on a little exchange because it has been listed on Bitpanda, but it was not on other exchanges. Now then it got listed, I think quite then on Binance and so on. So it got the big listings right into altcoin season. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, this is unreal. And this coin has a maximum supply of, it doesn't even have burn mechanics, and it is only a currency on their, and not NFT, on their tokenization app, which is only one app, right? And it went, and they partnered like with all the big major football clubs in the world and so on. It went. I'm scrolling here. So this is how it looked there back in the days for me for this coin. And then it topped out with a super long wick somewhere. But if you compare this to Ecomi, it's nothing else than Ecomi, this coin. It is linked to big partnership in the sports brands, but it's nothing different from Ecomi. It doesn't even have burn mechanisms until today. It doesn't have staking. The only difference is that it's listed on big exchanges and that that the token was listed on those big exchanges during a bull run after halving. So this, I really like what I see here when I think about Ecomi here, because quite frankly, look at this. We have this is from the last bull run here into the, this is already, you have to see, this is already bear market action because we were in crypto bear market already. So we have choppy sideways action going into all of this here, and then suddenly we are seeing the price curving, and yeah, you get the idea. Okay, so it looks and feels different to me, in my opinion, right? So this looks and feels different. This here looks and feels different for me than this here, than this. Like this looks, this pump and dump and whipsaw, it looks different. Doesn't mean that it cannot occur still during the time, but it looks just different to me. So let's just imagine how the next pump could look like. Okay, let's do this together. So let's look at all the chart. Okay, so we have the token launch, and actually we have the token. This is the last bull market. This is the last bull market, and we only have some exchanges. Now let's say we need to get our time frame a little bit better here. Let's say so this is right now, and we need to get this a little bit more together even so that we can look at the halving. So where's the halving? The halving is still, oh, that's 24. So the halving is, I think, in March 24, if I'm not mistaken. So the halving must be February, March. So the halving is here. So we could move out of this. This could be a gigantic rounding bottom here, right? If we look from a bigger perspective. And then we get our halving, and then we get a little pump, and then we go back. And so here we could already have our disbelief rally somewhere here, right, for Ecomi. Now, let's say that here is like, okay, we get UOB, and then we get, so let's do it like really like Chili's, like it happened for Chili's. So let's say there's the halving and the little halving pump, and now we get the real big exchanges. So we get let's just say we get Binance. Guys, this thing will go like this. Like we are only, this will go, let's say it does the same like Chili's. So I don't know, goes from here to 30 cents or so. Do you still think someone cares about this if this happens? It would all be like, if I only had accumulated here, right? Obviously, this is no guarantee. This doesn't have to happen, right? But let's just say it's like Chili's, and then it just does this after the bear market, right? Is that so unrealistic to happen if it happened like this with Chili's? Is it so unrealistic to get all our exchange listings right here when really massive volume is coming in on the first exchanges? I don't think so. I think that's pretty possible to have a real big run up for Ecomi. And I think you don't have to be the guy that that has 50 million Ecomi and sells it all right here. You can also be the guy with the 2 million Ecomi that sells it up right here, right? So because all the big whales that have been accumulating, they will start taking profit the moment they're a couple of X up. It makes sense to do that. And that's where we hit major resistance, which is why I think that on Ecomi, we'll hit major resistance where everyone bought FOMO'd in here. I think we will hit some resistance here. So actually, our chart should look, where is it? Where's my drawings tool? Our chart might be hitting a head here and then go up, right? So yeah, I don't know. Big VC companies are investing. Vivi is partnering with Kvarnus. When the public catches on this, the project will be a bonfire. And that I 100% agree with you, because this is how a pattern of a very healthy coin can absolutely look like. I mean, Chili's was a super good project. And the people that talked about this over here, no one would listen to them. Chili's, no one talked about them. During when I researched Chili's down here, there were only Turkish channels talking about this, because I think they were listing Galatasaray fan token or something like that. So I couldn't even find videos about this coin, even though they had a massive stuff going on here. So obviously Komi is a little bit more famous, but they are still not on the exchanges. So yeah, that's my take on what I think is going to happen with Ecomi token. Guys, can someone elaborate on Kvarnus? Actually, we can pull up the website if you want to. We have talked about it a little bit in the last stream. Ryan Unkafer, thanks for the great content, patient. Thank you for saying that. I really appreciate it, and I have a lot of fun presenting it to you. Then Jordan, check out Crypto Show 84 on YouTube for his video he did on Kvarnus a month ago for a preview of their work. I think that's good idea. Check out the guy's video. I will actually check out the guy's video, Crypto Show 84. He has factually backed information on this, or is this theory? Factually backed. Yeah, because it's not theory. Kvarnus is actually working with some pretty big companies, and we already knew, like already during the last year when I started the channel, it's more than 1 year ago, we have actually been talking about that Vivi is going to hire third-party producing companies and enabling companies. And that's exactly what they're doing, because otherwise they wouldn't be able to cope with everything in the space. Do you have the link? I don't know if you can post links here into the chat, but I will just search this on YouTube quickly. I will search this on YouTube quickly for you guys, and then I will watch it as well later on. What's the name? Crypto Show 84. Let's see if we can find the guy. Yeah, red circle. So that seems to be the guy. Let me share this with you. Okay, there you go. So this is Crypto Show. I'm not even subscribed to the guy, but now I am. So Crypto Show. Wow, he could really work on the thumbnails here, but I like he has more than 1,000 subscribers, which is always good to see, because that means he can actually get a couple of bucks for putting in the effort. So let's look at these videos here. He is doing some videos mostly about drops. So he is Oswald. Guys, by the way, did you get Oswald? I think Oswald is a pretty decent buy, actually. Excuse me, my throat already got sore from talking so much. Let me see. So you said 1 month ago. So Blackbird Venture, this is interesting. Blackbird is one VC that invested into Ecomi. Pokemon NFT started Dr. Profit, the hidden Discord line, new artist confirmed, Nintendo revealed, OUP simplified, new artist revealed, Tesla revealed, SpaceX revealed. What the Cavernous, there you go. So apparently that could be Cavernous demo, Veve collectibles revealed. So that video could be the video that we are talking about, right? Please confirm in the I don't know if you can share the link, but maybe you can tell me if I have the right one. Alex confirmed it. Yes, Alex confirmed that. Here you see this in his video there. Let me get this first. Oh, sorry, it's running here. This video. See the Ritmo collectible here behind him. That actually is a Veve collectible. They have sent the data file, but not the actual NFT to Cavernous to just test the stuff out. This is interesting. And one thing more which interests me is, what the heck is this golden Darth Vader behind him? Is this Veve? Because if this is Veve, this could I only saw this right now. I've never seen this before, that there's a golden Darth Vader. But anyways, always good to support the guys. Now I'm a subscriber of him. I will take a look at his content, and if you want, I will also invite him on my channel, or maybe he wants to have me on his channel, who knows. But anyways, I will try to get along the year more people on the channel here, so that we can look at stuff together. Has good content. I will check that out, but it seems so. You got the hottest thumbnails in the game. No Kizzy. Yeah, thank you very much. Smash a like if you like the thumbnails. Guys, I have to admit, I'm really excited. The market feels different right now. I don't know why it doesn't feel to all the people, but for me, it feels a little bit different. So interesting. Yes, PH, that is the video. Let's go. So this is the video. It's called Cavernous, and Cavernous is written with Cavern, and then the E is missing. Nus demo, Veve collectibles revealed. Veve, Ecomi, Omi stuff. This is for the algorithm, right? So yeah, make sure you give this guy a subscribe, and if you do and you like the video, then let him know where you got it from. You got it from Dave Bush. Yeah, Ritmo. I don't have Ritmo, but some people of you have. Smash a like if you have. Or no, let me know if you have. You don't have to smash a like every 2 seconds. Anyways, just to get this all with the sentiment, let's look at this. So I really like this chart. This is the Wall Street cheat sheet cycle of market sentiment. And we know that sentiment is right in the trash at the moment. And I hope I can get this bigger for myself because I loaded this in from a PowerPoint or so. But you can see there on the bottom, there's this anger phase, and this is the comparison with the last Bitcoin bull market, with the last Bitcoin bull and bear market that we have watched right now on the chart. So in the beginning of the stream, if you missed that, maybe you want to go back and watch that. And either there is a trough, like we have seen in that bear market, or at least a false bottom, which is more in the anger phase. And then also there is a depression phase. And I have the strong feeling that we are heading out of this anger phase right now into this absolute depression phase. And that usually comes along with the end of the all-time low. Now, are we quite there yet? We never know until we get confirmation. And the confirmation is this blue end of the depression phase, which is a disbelief rally. And actually, if we are looking at Bitcoin right now, as it presents itself for us right now, this is more than a bull flag. So we have really undecided price action. But if we look at this now, this could be, sorry about that, but this is the Bitcoin price action right now, right? So it could be that we have seen our trough, and what we see all since we pumped up here is disbelief in the market. So people do not believe that this is the end. They believe that we get wrecked, that whales are creating exit liquidity to dump massive bags into the market, which could be the case. But it also could be that that the anger phase is over and that people just do not believe, which is disbelief, that this could be the end. On the pullback, if we get a pullback here and we form a higher low, then they will still not believe that this could be the end of the lower low trajectory. But as I've mentioned before, we are going to stay in our bias until we have confirmation. Okay, so I also cannot quite believe it, but on the other hand, I can also not imagine what else can happen to the markets right now, except what could be worse than FTX, right? I mean, what could be, yeah, sure, nuclear war, third world war, but then you can kiss your crypto goodbye if that happens. So I don't know if they do a 0.5, even if they do a 0.5 rate hike right now, yes, we get a pullback, but do we really get all-time lows again? I don't know. We have pretty bad earnings reports right now. I want to show this to you. And still, so this is what we get from the market, like Intel stock slides on weak earnings and even weaker forecast. So if you read those articles, they missed their forecast. It's 10 billion and they missed their forecast by 3 billion. That's not like cents or so, right? So, and still the Bitcoin price is holding strong, even though that a massive tech company like Intel is having horrible reports. Usually the bottom comes in before everyone else feels it. Let me know about what you think. Here's the link, PH, that's the video. Okay, I had that. Ritmo. Oswald's SRs have pumped to 200 plus per day already. Whoa, I like this. I have one of those from the drop, and then I bought the animated one as well. I think Oswald is a very decent collectible. The animated, though, could be the better buy right now, even though there are 4,000 of them. I bought the SR. It's good to see a strong build in these low times with a collectible. I also think, and again, I mean, Oswald is a statement. Where is the Oswald tweet? Yeah, here. So this is from Twitter. Here's Oswald jumping around. It's animated. It has quite a fun sound. I don't know why I always have a bug. How much did you pay for it, Justin, if you FOMO'd into it? I bought it yesterday for 32 gems, I think. The animated, but I got the secret rare on drop. This was the guys. If you are coming at me for getting a secret rare with the narrative of YouTubers are only getting secret rares, blah blah blah, I can assure you, I'm the only YouTuber who is not whitelisted, if that's the case, because this was my first ever secret rare from a blind box since the beginning of my collectibles account. Discarding 38, yeah, but I mean, who cares? In a bull market, this thing will go for above 400 or so. I mean, you missed the bottom on this for what, 8 gems? It could be worse, I think. So I wouldn't be sad about this. Let me show you guys. So let's go into my account. So here's my absolutely cool showroom that I never use, which is Omi Presents. I'm waiting for, because I'm a hard comic collector. I'm waiting for them to build out. Where's my face? My face is gone. 1 second here. Nope, not this. I'm waiting for them to get comics into showrooms so that I can flex with my comics. But as you can see here, I got the 2 Oswalds. I'm missing the other one. I was waiting for a pullback. Pullback didn't come. I complete the set of the stamps. And here are my last comic purchases. I purchased a while ago the Amazing Spider-Man 300 Ultra Rare, because I'm very bullish on Ultra Rare covers. And I also bought Avengers 4 Secret Rare, because I think Avengers 4 is a pretty big comic. And I think there are only 500 or so of those out there. I got it for 100 and a couple, because I do not want to be the guy who doesn't buy at bottoms, right? I want to buy the bottom. Yeah, and I have a couple of sets. Like I have 20 something sets or so, 21, 22, something like that. But just for transparency reasons, I'm actually buying the stuff that I'm talking about on my streams. What else? Oh, someone mentioned burns. So let's get to why these Ecomi price actions. And let me get rid of this so no one gets completely confused when he comes into the stream right now. This is obviously, we come back to this if this really happens, and then I'm going to tell you that I told you so. But anyways, let's get rid of these markers here. Okay, so as we see, Ecomi down. Okay, we got that. Let's look at the spreadsheet of Pudding Cheeks here with the total Omi burn. Let me get this bigger for you so that we can look. So here we are. I hope you can see that. If you don't, please let me know. The current burn numbers are on 83 billion. To remind you, these are numbers that people in the bull market said would never be achievable for Omi. It would take them 8 to 10 years to get to those numbers. Right now, we are already at those numbers, but no one cares anymore because people do not care about Omi anymore. So another way of looking at this is this. This is from Jason Colon on Twitter. Follow the guy. He's way too few followers for the analysis that he's putting out, but his channel will do really, really great when Ecomi is pumping. But anyways, this is the reserve wallet. And this post is already from December. I think it's his last update, end of year. I wish he could do a new update on the reserve wallet. And we see here that we have here linear drop and polynomial drops of the Omi reserve wallet. And we see here that we have passed 600 and something days. And we see, I think, it must be 500 days or so left. So 1.5 years. If we would stay 1 year at these Omi prices in the gutter, we would be somewhere here close to the 1,000 mark, and we would have this many Omi tokens left. So we would get closer to like 60-80 billion Ecomi tokens left in the reserve wallet. And if we would pass, like going into the bull market, basically the Ecomi reserve wallet at these prices would be disappearing. That's something that to be bullish about. Also be bullish about my channel, please. I really wish I could go to 3,000 subscribers, which is 200 subscribers or so away before we I mean, no one cares about Ecomi and crypto in general at the moment. So I would really appreciate all the support here. So thank you for that, Jordan Stout. Smash the like. Thank you for the good conversation. Thank you guys for talking to me here and giving me your ideas. Please keep in mind that I respect everyone's fear, uncertainty, doubt. I'm not here to tell you that, or to tell someone that it's stupid. I think it's all really, really it's not rational maybe, but it's justified to feel like that in a bear market about this specific project. But guys, we are a community. Let's stick together. Let's go through this together. Maybe in 1 year we will all gather here in the chat and we will say, okay, let's go. We did it together, right? In a year or so. Until then, we are going to look at all the data and fundamentals together and get this done. So right now, let's talk about Veve collectibles here. So I am here on Veve Fox's VVX tracker. So here you go. She was in the chat a couple of minutes ago. She's not anymore, probably, I don't know. But so if you want to send her some money, which no one wants in the bear market, but she did some amazing effort here. So you can even send her some bucks to buy a coffee here for putting out the VVX tracker. So what does the VVX tracker do? The VVX tracker goes into metadata from Immutascan and basically pulls data here. Angry Lotus has to go. Thank you all for all you do in providing summary and information, man. Thank you for stopping by and watching this stuff for over an hour already. Thank you so much. And got to go, but was a great stream. Then you are heading out, so goodbye to you. Have a nice day. Have a great day. And we are now going to take a look at the bullish side of Veve collectibles, because I will make a video about this in the next days. I think that people are about to make a big mistake, some people in the Veve community. So we see daily net accumulation, and I have the time frame here up from the 1st of January until today. So last month, daily net accumulation is up 57%, almost 60%. So you cannot say that there isn't something pumping. So means that from the previous day. So this is only daily, not related to the time frame. But according to yesterday, net accumulation is up, probably also because of Oswald drop. But even 7-day average daily net accumulation is up 2.6%. So people are accumulating a little bit more. Then the 14-day is still down, and the 30-day is up 1.1%. So we have an upwards move since the beginning of the year from 1.1%. So accumulation is more. So now we see accumulation, net accumulation in the I like these peak numbers here, 999, 888. These must be drops or so. But you see, we are not really having here decreasing numbers. Instead, we have some pumps and some fluctuations, but overall, we have some pretty decent numbers here throughout the last month. So let's look at the top 100 collectors. And guys, by going, putting into Google VVX tracker, and then hitting here the top 100 button, you can access this site. And since the last time that I used it, she has put in here the mint, so we can see what the top wallets are minting. So here we see sorted by collection. These are the biggest, these are the top 15 biggest whales on Ecomi. And now let's see if they are bullish or bearish throughout since the beginning of the year. So we have here, I think this is Dr. Profit, 16,000 collectibles. He has purchased another 20. This guy doesn't mint, he just buys stuff, and he has a positive net accumulation of 20. Okay, so let's see if the second guy is bearish, because we know that Dr. Profit is a perma bull. But let's see if the second guy with 1,300 collectibles, see, he minted 5 on drops. He purchased 879 collectibles from the secondary market, because only 5 were minted. So 874, and he has a net accumulation of 884. So actually the mints are not counted as purchases, so it's 879 plus 5 mints. Then we have this guy, and this guy seems to be a bit of a flipper because he always appears like this. He has 9,000 collectibles, bought 238 and sold half of that, 112 collectibles plus, and so on. Look at this guy, 8,000 collectibles. This guy has purchased 700 collectibles. This guy 9,000 collectibles. This guy purchased 2,256 collectibles and sold none. So let's look where we find in the net accumulation the first guy that we could call a bear. So these are all accumulating. So the first guy that I can find here is someone who is still holding 5,000, almost 5,000 collectibles, which is 10 times more than I have. And this guy has a negative of 47 collectibles. But guys, that's not a bear that is selling off all his collectibles with a massive stack of this. No, this is someone who is probably accumulating other stuff and liquidating stacks. Okay, so let's look on. Okay, this guy seems more like someone who's bearish. Look at this guy. This guy has nothing minted, purchased one, but still he has so many collectibles, but he sold really 154. So maybe you could argue that one of these guys in the top 34 that we can see here, here's another guy. Like this guy is purchasing and selling, but we can go on here. Look at these guys. There are some guys that are selling 100 and some collectibles. So you get where I'm going with this? Look at the data, guys. These guys are buying. Look at who's buying. Everyone's buying. These guys are purchasing. No one is selling the bottom except retail. Look at this. Guys, these guys are buying. Why should you behave different than a whale? I don't get it. Why? Give me one good reason for us to sell our stuff right now if these guys are buying. No, these guys are super happy that people are flooding themselves into man, guys, these guys are buying. I do not have much more to say here. Yeah, obviously sentiment is in the gutter. The smaller wallets are not buying. The big wallets are buying right now. And then the small wallets are crying that they are getting dumped on. Let's look at one more thing here. So let's get rid of that, and let's look at the overall market cap. What does the overall market cap here remind you of? Sorry, the screenshot is absolutely super bad, but this is collectibles and comics, and they're moving just in the same way because ultimately it's only about liquidity. But this screenshot I got from Ecomi wiki. I don't know if they are still working on the site, but this is this is I don't know if this is even old or stuff like that, but April, May, June, July, August, September. Yeah, this seems to be like an old data or so, but yeah, it's just flattening out since ever, basically. So if you have a site that you can recommend me to look at the overall market cap, I would be really, really glad to have that. Okay, so let's look at drop participation. And what really sticks out to me here at drop participation is that that buyers and tokens that are minted are relatively even, which means that rather than some people get everything, like here, I think this was the USPS stamp or so. Most of the drops are fairly spread between. So there were 8,000 collectibles and 7.3 thousand unique buyers on this drop. And actually we can also see here we have around 7,000 people that are buying that stuff, right? So except like here, these are mints that are coming from the stuff that is still sitting in the store. But overall we can say this is a violent bear market. People are frustrated. Some projects die. At Veve, people still buy. 7,000 unique people are still buying that stuff. So it's not too bad. And overall, probably we have still around 10,000 active users in the week or in the month. What else do we get? Yeah, we have talked about Oswald. I'm pretty bullish on Oswald. It has a little funny music. I like that. Yeah, then we get the Infinity Stone. Infinity Stone number 5 is dropping, and for everyone who doesn't know it, this could be where we get the Infinity Gauntlet. So I'm going full degen, and I'm going to go for this drop, whatever it is, because I think that we get these. Also, this looks like something to use in a vault. If they don't, I just use it as something like design in a vault. What else do we have? This is interesting for the Infinity Gauntlet. Kryptone or Kryptoni is posting this. I think this one counts, and it's about the Eye of Agamotto. So it says here for the Eye of Agamotto, and this is the uncommon with the closed eye. This must have digital collectible features. This must have digital collectible features, the Eye of Agamotto and Infinity Stone within a premium digital format. So Infinity Stone within could be that the uncommon also counts. Yeah, it's Oswald. Yeah, it's like Walt. You need to have Walt. But I could imagine that even the cheap uncommon of the Eye of Agamotto, and full disclosure, I do not have any uncommons to dump on you. This is not my style. I know that some people do this on YouTube, but I don't. Actually, I can like this also. Not only I did like this. Okay, so the heart doesn't stay red. Okay. Anyways. What else do we have? This is also pretty cool. The one-of-one collectibles are still being raised on Veve. So there we have the Fantastic Four cover, which is pretty cool cover here. At the one-of-ones, I think it's good that they have this because it attracts a whole another type of investor to the app, and that they continue doing this, I think is really good. I've never seen one of those on the market. Did you guys ever see one of those appear on the market? If so, let me know. What else do we have? Immutascan numbers, number go up on user wallets, unique wallets that we have. So we have peaked here on 652,000 wallets, but we also know that probably many of those are disabled bot wallets, but Immutascan doesn't make the difference here. Let me actually refresh that site, because I want to look at what's being minted. So if you want to look at what's hot right now, or what's being bought right now, look at this. So there are Marvel Zombies Boo the Cat, some things that we don't know of, a Golden Homer. So there are a lot of secondary market purchases. There's a lot of stuff going on. Look at this. This is 2 minutes ago. This is all 2 minutes ago. Look at how many people are trading on the market 3 minutes ago, 4 minutes ago, 5 minutes. Look at how many transactions there are on the secondary markets. And then there are also people that are still minting. I didn't know that this didn't sell out. So I think, look at this, like people are buying and selling everything. There's a lot of stuff going on. There are hundreds of collectibles in the last of 15 minutes or so that have been bought and sold. Guys, this is a money printing machine for Ecomi and Veve, and they will do something with this. I'm absolutely sure. Yeah, that's basically it here for that. So let me get back to face mode. Superstar Money posted a video today about the speculation that there will be the Gauntlet airdrop as airdrop if you collect the stones. They have the opinion that you will have to collect every eye. I don't know, because I think if any, it's the rare and the secret rare, not together, but one of those, because they match in addition sizes the same as the Tesseract. And I think their previous plan was to have them all at matching numbers. But then the bear market impact was so hard on Ecomi that all this stuff didn't sell out, so that they decreased the edition sizes on the Scepter and on the Power Orb. And I think, personally, I don't know if the uncommon would... it's the uncommon. if this one is with the closed eye, but it says in the description, as you just read here, that it has the stone within. So you can just not see it, but it's there. So technically it should count. And so this is one option. If they only make the secret rare count, they would basically make everyone get wrecked, because this one is also already so expensive that it would be really, really problematic to buy this one. I personally believe that the rare counts as much as the secret rare, because the only difference between rare and secret rare is that the stone is that the eye is not animated, but the stone is open in both of them. There's just no justification why the animated and then the rare should be different for being eligible. So I don't have the secret rare. I will go with the rare because for me it's the safest. Plus, there is the thing that they match in numbers. But everyone needs to align their own strategies. I have talked to people that actually sold their stones in this hype right now, and they are just saying, yeah, I sell my stones, and then when the gauntlet hits the market, I will just buy the gauntlet. So yeah, I could imagine that this is happening. Yes, and the comment, yes, I think it doesn't matter from where you collect the stones. I hope it doesn't, because I think it's very exclusive if it's only the secret rare, and these stones are around a long time. So I think there should be some level of planned airdrops, in the sense that you can really, okay, if I collect that, I get the airdrop. I think it's cool mechanic. And then to make it even better, I have made this in the last video. I've said this. Someone else suggested it on YouTube. It would be really cool if you could just take the stones and destroy them to get that gauntlet. If you can just, okay, guys, you have the full set. You are eligible to get the gauntlet, so you can destroy your stones. If that would be the case, then the stones would get really, really scarce. And the people that do have stones, they would basically have very valuable stones then, and they can decide to not destroy them. Maybe the Tesseract from the Red Skull count too. I don't know about this. It's so far-fetched that this would count too, because the skull has been launched so much time before, and the Tesseract has 8,000 editions. But you could be right about this. I mean, it would be still a bad idea to buy the skull instead of the Tesseract, because the skull is, I think, way more expensive. I think it's the ultra rare or secret rare part of the set, but I like the idea. Actually, it would be cool if the skull was actually counting, and you could decide to that if you use the skull as the final piece for the gauntlet, then this Tesseract of him would turn off the glow or something like that, so that you have you can create unique collectibles out of the collectibles that are there. Like, you could imagine this with a lot of collectibles, like the Deadpool without the Christmas pullover, and like the crystals not glowing on the gauntlet or whatever. Like, you could imagine a lot of this. You could also imagine, like, you could forge the gauntlet, but it doesn't have the crystals in them if you don't have them all. So I really hope that they can develop the app in that direction, that you can start playing around with the different mechanics and start creating collectibles that are different from each other. So it would be also imaginable that if you have the secret rare eye, you get a different gauntlet from when you have the rare eye. So, or if you have the uncommon eye. I think, if I recall this right, in all the Marvel universe, there are at least 3 options for a gauntlet. One is the Thanos gauntlet, one is the Iron Man gauntlet, and then there's a third gauntlet that I do not remember at all, because I am not the Marvel pro, guys. But anyways, this could be the case. I think, because you need all these stones, and so many retail people do not inform themselves, there will be fairly the gauntlet, if it drops, will be fairly scarce. I really think that. And then the question is, what is the price point of that gauntlet? Obviously, if they get together like 4,000 gauntlets, obviously, then the gauntlet will be at price point at around 100 gems or so. Then it wouldn't even be worth to create the gauntlet, or then it wouldn't. if it's an airdrop and you still have your stones, then probably the stones will get back to single digit numbers if they do not implement any mechanics. But I personally, I will just keep them. I will put the gauntlet in the showroom and put the stones around the gauntlet. That's what I plan to do. Yeah. No, everyone will try to sell the stones. Yeah, anyways, guys, we are already 2 hours and 10 minutes in the stream. This will be it for me. On your way out, make sure to subscribe if you are not yet, to get back to the next stream, and to smash the like button. I really enjoyed this conversation today with all of you who are still left. Smash the like into oblivion, and we will be updating, I hope, hopefully weekly on this channel. This was a little bit off schedule. I tried to do it on Thursdays, but it will not be always possible. So if you enjoy this, let me know. Also, if you watch this afterwards, in the comments below. And yeah, wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon, and see you in the next video or live stream.